Hello, welcome back to my series of videos explaining equity release. Another important one today. Today I want to cover what safeguards and guarantees there are with this concept. A lot of you I know are very wary about equity release, so let's try and dispel this myth that is sometimes around about there's no guarantees. Let's go through what is there to safeguard you. So as always, please be kind enough to click the button below to either like the video or to subscribe, because the more subscribers we have, apparently the more the videos get shown to people and we can get this message across. So you can do that for me, and let's get started about safeguards and guarantees. Now, the first thing I want to say is that let's be clear that I don't recommend that you look at equity release at all until you've made sure that you've exhausted all other options and possibilities you may have in order to raise funds to satisfy whatever needs you have. So it's not a last resort, but please be sure that you've covered every avenue, and then you can then look at equity release. It is a good concept, but you have to be very responsible and make sure that there aren't other ways of raising the money, and your equity advisor will be able to do that for you. So the protection. The protection starts very early on with equity release. The product is regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, and so it's an independent non-governmental regulator of UK financial services, and in fact the fact that it is regulated means, of course, that it must follow strict regulations. So there's the first safeguard for you. Now, to be able to advise on equity release, advisors need to be specialists in their field and have to pass very stringent examinations to obtain qualification by the London Institute of Banking and Finance. This qualification is the Certificate in Regulated Equity Release, known as CeRER. And there's also a similar certificate in equity release issued by the Chartered Insurance Institute. So this qualification is over and above any qualifications that I may have to advise on mortgages. It's a specialist qualification just for equity release because it is important that the correct advice is given. So ensure, absolutely ensure, that any advisor who speaks to you about equity release holds either the CeRER or the CII certification. Inspect their business card, make sure you see that qualification, then you can be assured that you're speaking with somebody who knows their business and is qualified to advise you. So there is a guarantee and a safeguard for you. Your run-of-the-mill mortgage man, shall I say, and there's no disrespect, but a mortgage advisor is not qualified to advise on equity release, so ensure you speak with a specialist. Now there's another safeguard in that the Equity Release Council are an industry body for the equity release sector in the UK, and the Equity Release Council represent the providers, so the lenders, qualified advisors that we've just spoken about, solicitors and intermediaries are all in the field, and the ERC, or the Equity Release Council, have standards that have to be upheld by all the members. So this is very, very important. So let's have a look at some of those standards that they recommend, and the first one we look at is regarding the homeowner has to consult with a solicitor of their choice to ensure that their rights and obligations of both parties have been fully explained. So after the equity release advisor talks to you about it and the offer is there, before that's ratified, you have to sit in front of a solicitor and he has to give it all to you again and ensure that you understand everything, all the rights of both parties, and you both have to sign a certificate to say, yes, that has been done and I'm happy now that I understand all the ramifications about this equity release contract. So the mortgage cannot be completed until that certificate is signed. So that's a good safeguard for you. Now another big standard that the Equity Release Council insist on is that the provider, the lender, gives a no negative equity guarantee. So that ensures that the amount that is owed on the mortgage can never exceed the price that was obtained when the property is sold. So it can never go into negative equity. You remember we looked at compound interest and we saw that with the high interest rate, you may remember at 6%, actually the equity went into negative equity. That now cannot happen. So again, ensure that whoever you deal with and the lender you deal with, ask them, are you a member of the Equity Release Council and do you uphold their standards? So there's a guarantee, no negative equity. Very, very important. And another one that the Equity Release Council insists on is that the borrower is entitled to remain in their home for the rest of their lives until they die or they go into long-term care. So that's a very important thing. And in the case of joint borrowers, it applies to both of them. So here you have some safeguards, guarantees that hopefully will put your mind at rest. Also, the borrower has the right to transfer their loan to another property, provided that the new property is acceptable to the lender. So again, any lender who is a member of the Equity Release Council must offer that option as well. So please ensure that your lender is a member of the Equity Release Council, that your advisor is fully qualified. As always, there's my website, my blog details on the screen, and again, as always, you're very, very welcome to telephone me. You'll get an answer phone. Please leave a message. I'll be pleased to call you back and answer any questions that you may have. I think that just about covers it, but we'll have a Mythbuster, shall we? Mythbuster number 3, I think this is, and quite obviously it's for those people who say, of course, you get all this interest, and in the end you end up owing them money because it's gone into negative equity. That does not happen now. That does not happen because the Equity Release Council have this standard that there is a no negative equity guarantee. So tell them naysayers, it doesn't happen now, and make sure you take good counsel on this and understand everything that's going on. Okay, that's it for now. My next video will be covering how long does it take to arrange equity release. How long does it take? So that'll be the next one, and I'll see you then, and please press on that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.